Okay, let's talk about Mars and water. Mars.
Is there life on Mars? That's what David Bowie asked, and today we are one step closer to when he wrote that song.
Woo woo.
Than when he wrote that song. I think that made sense. No, maybe not.
We're
Anyway,
getting further away from when
Oh, no.
David Bowie knew.
Anyway, some scientists in Italy have analyzed some data from the MARSIS satellite, MARSIS.
What sort of data?
Radar data.
What does that
It's
look
got
like?
a radar sensor on the satellite, and as it orbits around Mars, it scans Mars.
Is this an actual picture? 'Cause
Yes.
This is the one I keep seeing.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Is
How
that
do
it?
they analyze the data? Is it numbers?
It'll be a signal return and a depth
Crazy.
sort of thing
Oh wow.
as it goes around. So
When you
anyway,
ask Jono hard questions, he actually has the answer.
I know,
That's the difference
I
between
don't-
us and
I
Jono.
legit have no idea. You said they're analyzing data. I'm like, what does that even look like?
the radar like shoots at the surface and you get a signal back, right? So it's
like
like
a bat.
yeah, same concept. So
So
you're
what-
getting a return signal, but you can actually time it, so you can kind of work out depth and you can work out some other stuff
So we're looking
more
at
than
this.
just the surface.
We're looking at this photo of Mars with it's all red except for this one patch which is white.
Ice.
Ice.
Yeah,
Right.
this
So
is the pole. This is the south pole.
Oh,
of
so that's the
Mars.
south pole of Mars.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's always been we knew there was ice on Mars.
Right.
We just didn't. You can't have life with just ice. You need liquid water.
Right.
So because like that's what life is, always cells full of liquids.
I
That's
know
the
that.
penguins.
Exactly. Wait. Anyway.
Is that an argument? Is that-
Anyway, we need liquid water in order to see if there's life there, right? And also we're interested in finding liquid water because it makes a whole bunch of stuff possible for space missions.
And we can live there.
You can drink it. You can turn it into rocket fuel.
You can turn
And
into
we can
rocket
take a
fuel?
one-man
Yes, you can use
submarine.
electrolysis, so you can use energy from the sun, like solar panels, to split the water into hydrogen and oxygen,
No way.
which is what happens when you stick electrodes into water.
Why are we running our cars on petrol when we could be running on electrolysis?
Because hydrogen explodes sometimes.
We don't want
Yeah,
that.
it's super dangerous in cars, right?
Remember the
Isn't it?
Hindenburg? Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, we've fixed that
do
now.
not-
We've
I do
got
not
like
remember.
we've got things.
We
that
haven't
fix
fixed
those
explosions.
things.
No, you can't fix that. If you get in an accident, it may
We haven't
explode.
fixed chemistry.
No, there are some cars that run on hydrogen. They use fuel cells.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's an alternative. It's a good option. I like it. Anyway,
Thanks.
I mean, the only problem is on Earth, you generally get hydrogen from gas, like
Yeah.
petroleum gas type
Gotcha.
stuff. Yeah, not from water.
I
Anyway,
knew that.
anyway,
Yeah.
they found this lake. It's under the ice. It's 1.5 kilometers below the surface of the ice. So it's like ice for 1.5 kilometers, and then they don't know exactly how thick the water layer is, but they know it's at least. They think it's at least 1 meter.
Right.
And it's like 20 kilometers across. Of course, they could be wrong, and it could be not water, and it could be something else that produces the exact same return signal, but the
Right.
probability of that is quite low. So they're fairly certain that it's water.
They're getting all that data from shooting a laser at it and the laser coming back differently.
A radar. It's like a radar. It's like what they go do speed,
Yeah.
like your speed gun.
Which I get that,
Mm.
but how do they tell how deep the ice is and that there's water under it from?
I'm not actually sure about exactly how they work out the depth when they get the signal back. I assume the laser beam has some sort of width and they get a different bounce. And as you move across, you can probably combine that data to work out what was happening at different levels.
Right. It's
But-
so complicated.
Yeah, it'd be similar to how like your Kinect on your Xbox used to get 3D information
Mm.
type thing.
Is it possible that Mars water is different to Earth water?
Oh no, so this water is not going to be water. It's going to be really briny, salty water, like full of stuff.
Mars water.
It
Sounds
could
like
even
you need
be
a Brita.
It could even be a sludgy mud sort of thing, but it's liquid
Hell.
water.
Okay. So if you're filtering
You
it,
could
you
not-
get some water.
You could not get pure water to be liquid under these conditions. So you know in North America they salt the roads during winter.
Yes.
It's because salt in water lowers the freezing point.
yes.
So the water can get colder than when it would
Right.
traditionally go solid.
And you can
With
drive.
salt in it, it will go even colder and stay liquid. So that's the situation here. This water probably has a bunch of these salts that have dissolved from the rocks, and that keeps it liquid. Also, it's got a bunch of ice sitting on top of it, and pressure helps keep water liquid.
Right.
Does that mean fixing global warming just means putting more salt in the ocean? or taking salt out of the ocean?
I don't think those problems are related.
I'm pretty sure it's something to do with plastic.
No, just the melting ice caps. I mean,
Oh, no, that would make it. No,
Make it-
Hey, Jono,
Anyway.
is Waterworld a real
they're
scenario?
fresh water.
Yeah.
The ice caps are fresh water.
Oh.
Yeah. Huh?
Would Waterworld be a real scenario?
On Mars?
Not on Mars.
On
No,
Earth.
definitely not. On Earth? Probably not.
why
I
not?
don't think there's that much water.
So we could never live out the fantasy of.
Well, there's still dry land in Waterworld.
It's
There
just not
is.
very findable.
Yeah.
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 That's the idea.
Okay.
I
Don't
believe-
question me on Waterworld. I know Waterworld.
I just
bro.
watched Waterworld like a couple of days
How
ago.
good is it?
It's pretty great.
So is there little worms living inside this sludge?
So that's the question, right? So they're gonna probably they've found similar lakes on Earth under the ice sheet of Antarctica.
Right.
Oh.
So there's lakes. It's even bigger than this one. It's
Really?
100 kilometers across.
Have they been
That's
and had a
cool.
look?
Yeah, so the thing is, they need to. The challenge in this is to be able to dig down to take a sample without contaminating it,
Mm.
Right.
because it's really hard to actually get rid of every single microbe, and you would never know if you dig down into this water and you find some stuff, and you find some microbes. Well, it's like, okay, were they on the drill?
Ah, right.
Did
right.
we contaminate
Sure,
it? Did we
sure.
put them in there? So you never know. That's why they did there was the satellite mission Cassini that they sent out to Jupiter. It took amazing photos of Jupiter.
Hmm.
They intentionally crashed it into Jupiter so that it would not potentially contaminate one of the moons if it
Oh,
hit the
really?
moon. Yeah,
Because we know Jupiter's no go.
Jupiter definitely has no life on it, but
Alright.
there's moons around Jupiter that are like have more water than on Earth.
Also, there's a potential that we might find life on Mars, but it might have been introduced by us if we do the wrong thing.
Exactly. So the challenge is to design a mission that can. This is a massive challenge.
Yeah.
Is you send something to Mars that has the potential to dig through 1.5 kilometers
Mm.
of ice.
That rover could not do that.
No,
Unless
that
it was
rover
getting
can scoop up
hydrogen
like
from the
a
ice that
spoon.
it's tunneling through and making the hydrogen into fuel.
But that
Yeah.
that rover's still there.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of rovers.
Where do
If
you
you look
think
at a
about-
map of Mars, they go very little distance from where they land.
Can these
They go very
rovers
slowly.
can these rovers form a giant robot and then dig a hole? That's what they should be
That'd
designing.
be
Voltron.
interesting.
Maybe in like 200 years they could get close enough to each other to
They
like
just join up,
yeah,
form a
bump into
Voltron.
each other extremely slowly, and that would be the end of that mission.
Why?
What? How long? How
It's
long does
so
a rover
slow.
last for though?
Actually, so the original ones, Opportunity and Spirit, were designed to last about 90 days, and they went about 10 years. I think one of
Wow.
them's still going, but they get dust buildup on
Yeah.
their
Isn't
You saw
it's
it
still
in Martian.
going.
Yeah, one of them's still going. The other one's finally like got enough
This is
dust on
fascinating.
its solar panels that it doesn't get enough power anymore to stay
I have
on.
so many questions.
It's amazing.
Anyway,
I was
so
gonna
the-
say, how do they get the dust off? But it doesn't. Is
How
that
do
the
they get them
problem?
up there?
yeah,
Okay.
like there are dust storms. There's a lot less wind on Mars, so I think not that often. But when they have dust storms on Mars, it's like the whole planet is covered in dust.
Wait. So who? So how often are we sending rovers to Mars?
Once every maybe 5 years. There's quite a few missions.
Right.
There's the really big one. No, I can't remember what it's called.
Discovery.
Elon Musk,
Opportunity? No, I said Opportunity.
Apollo.
No, anyway, it's the big one that's like car sized, and it went there like
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago.
That's so
Is,
cool.
it, is it there yet?
I don't think it's.
How long is it?
No,
take
it's
to get
there now. Yeah, Mars doesn't take that long to get to. Yeah,
3 months.
yeah. I think at closest approach, I think it might be 7 months,
That's what Elon was telling. I think he was keen on getting there.
3 months.
3 months.
Curiosity.
He's also
Oh,
keen to
yeah.
get in a cave, but he didn't do that, did he?
No, well, you know, Elon. He's not
He
my
makes-
he's
he
not my
makes-
favorite person. At the
He makes pedophile tweets as well.
Oh, he does. No one's firing him from his company.
So anyway,
I
hopefully
think they tried to.
they could be life, but we won't find out for a very long time.
So the only way, so there could be life closer to the water down there.
So it could be life in the water, because they have found heaps of evidence on Mars that there used to be flowing water.
And
So
the-
there's evidence of riverbeds, there's evidence of lakes, there's
Really?
evidence of runoff out of lakes. Smaller craters have weathering patterns that
Right.
match. They're basically gone, right? The smaller craters are gone. There's large craters that show weathering from water. But it was very early in Mars's history as a planet that it
Mm.
lost its atmosphere. And there's not enough, when you lose your atmosphere, there's not enough pressure to keep the water liquid. And it just like turns into gas or ice.
Oh,
And it gets really cold as well. So it's either ice or gas on
Right.
Mars. It's not liquid.
Fascinating.
Crazy.
So they think maybe there was life back then and it somehow survived in these kinds of subterranean lakes. They think there's probably other lakes like that too. It just so happens that this satellite has the best resolution around the South Pole.
So there could be some sort of crab people under the surface, essentially, is what you're saying.
You've always been looking for crabs, haven't you?
Mm.
Have you got crabs?
Have I got news for you?
What?
I think he's going to tell you that you've got some subterranean crabs going on.
Oh no.
Is there less gravity? Is there less gravity on Mars?
Yes.
Like
Didn't
a lot less?
1/3.
Didn't you watch John Carter?
Yeah, didn't you watch John Carter?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is that a thing?
We're going to be
I think-
superheroes on Mars, Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you could jump like 8 meters or something.
Sweet.
If you could jump 2 meters, yeah. 2 meters is actually very high.
That's pretty damn high.
Very high.
I don't even think I can jump one.
I needed whole numbers when I was doing this math in my head. When I was watching John Carter. It's like, how high would you actually jump?
John Carter was a great movie. I don't know why I didn't do better.
Is it
Because
great?
it wasn't a great movie.
It was a great movie.
It was
What is
fine.
wrong with you?
It was an okay movie.
What was the name? What is the name they kept calling him?
It's like the definition of an okay movie. Is that
It
movie?
was great.
Anyway, final thoughts.
Anyway.
Great.
Yeah, it's a cool discovery.
That's awesome.
Good on the Italians. Let me find the Italian guy's name before.
Bellissimo.
That's a spicy Mars.
Prego Dini.
That's a spicy meatball.
You guys are racist.
Professor Roberto Orsi.
Classic.
We'll see.
Looks like you guys did not convince my girlfriend to watch it. She says she's not going to watch it.
Fair enough.
Emma, it's really good though, and you could hug Ali while you're watching it.
It's getting
That's
worse.
a better tact than what you were doing before.
You could spend the whole movie
Yeah.
hugging him.
If you're scared of clowns, don't worry.
There's
The
no
cla-
clowns in it.
The clown has a lot of makeup on. That you might find that interesting from a professional.
Anyway, this has been Transitting's episode 98. We're 2 away from 100, guys.
Woo!
That's pretty
Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
We've got some things to announce / do
Oh.
on episode 100 that'll be pretty fun. That's been it for Trend Settings this week. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and donate. And hit that button. Hit that like button. Smash that bell button.
Smash.
We'll
Smash it.
see you next week. My name is Ali.
I'm Jono.
My name is Cleese.
Nick, make sure you check your tweets so you didn't tweet anything controversial. this
Go
week.
and delete all your Twitters.
I'm
Get
gonna
get off
Go-
Twitter. Why is anyone on Twitter?
I think I'm going to have to delete every episode of this podcast, actually.
Yeah, you hate women and you
in a
hate
couple of
women.
years.
I don't know. You guys just say I hate women. It didn't actually.
And you agree.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say.
All right. Let's see ya. Bye.
Bye.
Boy.